can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right, on the show today, fresh controversy erupts as former Pakistan players question why there was no presence of the Pakistan Cricket Board at the ICC Champions Trophy final presentation last night. What was the reason behind this and who's to blame? Meanwhile, Indian captain Rohit Sharma shut down all the noise and the critics questioning his presence and his leadership after India clinched the Champions Trophy title, the second ICC title in 2 years. But the win seems to have spurred a political war of words. And speaking of war, is Donald Trump, US President's tariffs plan, drawing a bigger wedge between USA, Canada and Mexico ahead of the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Trump says the political tension will only make this an interesting affair. But is the truth far from it? All of that headed your way, but first a look at the headlines on Sports 360. We'll start with cricket. England's Harry Brook is likely to face a 2-year ban from the Indian Premier League or the IPL. Brook has pulled out of the 2025 edition. Last year, IPL issued an advisory stating franchises should ban players for last-minute withdrawals. Brook, who was bought by Delhi for $715,000, said he was prioritizing national duty over the league. On to football. Manchester United held Arsenal to a 1-1 draw in the Premier League after Bruno Fernandes' goal in the first half. Arsenal's Declan Rice equalised in the second half. Arsenal now trail table toppers Liverpool by 15 points. In tennis, former world number 1 Novak Djokovic has been knocked out of the Indian Wells Masters in his first match. The Serb lost 2-6, 6-3, 1-6 to unseeded Botin van der Zandschulp. Djokovic hasn't won a single title since his Olympic gold last year. In badminton, world number 16 Alex Lanier won the men's singles title at Orleans Masters. The 20-year-old held his nerves to beat Lin Chunyi 21-13, 21-18. This is Lanier's first Super 300 title. He's the first French player to win in Orleans since Thomas Jr. Popov did it 3 years ago. And clashes erupted in Madhya Pradesh's small town Mau after India's Champions Trophy win following a stone pelting at a rally that was celebrating India's victory last night. At least 13 people were arrested following the incident. The ICC Champions Trophy was supposed to be Pakistan's tryst with destiny, a moment for them to shine, for this country to put its best foot forward and come out victorious. They dreamed of pulling off a fantastic tournament as hosts and of their cricket team to etch something memorable. The tournament, unfortunately, had its own share of glitches and their cricket team crashed out in the group stages itself without even getting to play their last game in front of their own fans. Not the kind of comeback that Pakistan Cricket Board wished for as hosts of an ICC event after nearly 30 years. And the latest that has sparked dramatic reactions has been the fact that despite the final being held in Dubai, UAE, as India was one of the finalists, there was no representation of Pakistan at the post-match presentation. This despite them being the primary hosts of the tournament, something that has rankled Pakistan's finest players.
जी आईसीसी चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी हिंदुस्तान ने जीत ली है और एक अजीब सी चीज मैंने देखी है कि पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड का कोई नुमाइंदा यहाँ खड़ा नहीं था। पाकिस्तानी चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी होस्ट कर रहा था और पाकिस्तान का कोई भी नुमाइंदा यहाँ पे नहीं खड़ा था। ये बात मेरी समझ से बाहर है। कोई रिप्रेजेंट करने क्यों नहीं आया ट्रॉफी और कोई देने यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं आया? इट इज बियॉन्ड मी। पॉइंट तो थिंक अबाउट इट प्लीज। वर्ल्ड स्टेज है, यहाँ पे आपको होना चाहिए था, बट सैडली आई कुड नॉट सी एनी पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड मेंबर आउट देयर और ये hosted by us and yet there is nobody there. Think about it. Feeling very down to see that.
We were the host, weren't we, right? How come even the COO of PCB or whoever it may be, who was representing the chairman, why weren't they on stage? It was imperative that Pakistan should have had representation in any form.
There was a Pakistan presence on the day of the final. It was Ramiz Raza, the commentator, who made a brief appearance in the middle of the match when he conducted a flash interview of Varun Chakravarti post the first innings. The post-match presentation, in fact, saw the ICC President Jay Shah hand over the trophy to the winning captain Rohit Sharma and the BCCI President Roger Binney handing over the jackets and the medals to the winning team. Why was Pakistan representation as host of the tournament not there? It's pretty much a norm for the hosting country to be present at the dais. Now, I did reach out to the Pakistan Cricket Board to find out if there had been a reason for them to stay away from the concluding ceremony of an ICC event that they themselves co-hosted. And the response I received is that there in fact was a PCB representative present in Dubai during the final. While the PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi chose not to travel across, his colleague, the PCB chief operating officer and the tournament director of the Champions Trophy, Sumair Ahmed Saeed, was indeed present, but was not made to be part of the post-match ceremonies. This, of course, takes me back to just some months ago when India toured Australia for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Australia, of course, ended up winning that series, beating India 4-1. Alan Border stood front and centre and handed out the trophy to the winning side. Sunil Gavaskar was miffed and explicitly made his thoughts on this matter clear.
I certainly would have loved to have been there for the presentation. I mean, I'm here on the ground. To me, it should not matter that Australia won. I'm just feeling a little perplexed. It's the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Both of us should have been there.
The clarification that was given was that since Australia were the winners, Alan Border was called up to hand over the trophy and perform the ceremonies. Had India triumphed, it would have been Sunil Gavaskar. But the former India commentator and captain made a pertinent point that the trophy is named the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. No matter which team wins it, both these players, after whom this has been named, should be present on that dais. Now, you can't debase the reason why the series came to be just to fit a narrative that is convenient to you. So by that logic, should Pakistan not have been present in the ceremony last night, or was the geopolitical tension just too much for this to take place? Or was it simply because the final was in Dubai, UAE, so why complicate the situation any further? Where do you stand in this matter? Do let us know. In a glittery, packed Dubai International Stadium, India's captain Rohit Sharma was emphatic at the Champions Trophy final. The opener led from the front to help India win their second ICC Trophy in less than a year, putting a big full stop to all the criticism that had been directed towards him all these months. But the impact of that win was more than just about shutting out all the noise, because what Rohit and company achieved last night was scripting a historic chapter for Indian cricket, even sparking a subtle political war of words between two of the biggest parties in India. But after a rather quiet tournament that saw the Indian captain struggle initially, Rohit Sharma actually stepped up to set the tone in India's run chase last night. A 76 of 83 was enough to inspire the rest and to charge towards yet another silverware, leaving the whole nation over the moon. Sunil Gavaskar dancing away, watching the Indian cricket team celebrate with that trophy really marked it for me. But all of these celebrations did have that undertone of controversy written over it. And what's a controversy if it doesn't have a tongue-in-cheek take of it across social media? And the reason behind the internet going berserk is because the past 6 months haven't been too easy on Rohit. Despite winning an ICC title last year, as a batter, as a captain and an athlete, Rohit Sharma endured different extremes over the last 6 months. The biggest setback, of course, was the Border-Gavaskar Trophy loss to Australia. Rohit even dropped himself for that final test of the series. Just like every other team, the captain became the prime target for the team's failure. There was a lot of negative noise surrounding Rohit Sharma, and of course his performance came under scrutiny too. So from sitting out in Sydney to standing tall in Dubai, Rohit proved why he still belongs at the biggest stage, why he's one of the most influential captains India has ever produced, bringing a change in tone even from the people who called him unfit and a lackluster captain. Political party Indian National Congress's spokesperson Shama Mohammed started a row during the Champions Trophy earlier when she body-shamed Rohit and criticized his leadership. So when India lifted the Champions Trophy, Shama was swift to congratulate Rohit Sharma. The ruling party, BJP, didn't shy away from taking a dig at Sharma and the Congress over her earlier remarks. This is how fitting and unfit Rohit Sharma's performance truly was, because with this, what Rohit has achieved is that he surpassed two of the greatest captains India has had with this win. With 2 ICC trophies in the shorter format, Rohit Sharma has overtaken Kapil and Sourav Ganguly, who won 1 trophy each. The 1983 World Cup that Kapil led his team towards victory at, and the 2002 Champions Trophy success under Sourav Ganguly. Rohit Sharma is now only behind MS Dhoni, who's won the ODI World Cup, the T20 World Cup, as well as the Champions Trophy titles. Maybe we haven't seen the end of this glorious chapter just yet, because after the final, Rohit addressed a packed press conference to put all talks of his retirement on hold.
I'm not going to retire from this format, just to make sure that no rumors are spread going forward. There's no future plan. Whatever is happening will keep happening.
And just like his sixes last night, Rohit cleared the air regarding his intention to stay on. The T20 World Cup proved that when it was time to take those tough decisions, Rohit Sharma wouldn't shy away from doing so. He retired from the format after the team winning, and despite the team winning. With the ODIs, maybe the Indian captain feels there is some more unfinished business. And the Indian captain is not entirely done yet. There are 2 more ICC events lined up over the next 2 years, and who doesn't wish to take another shot at glory, especially if that would mean a shot at surpassing the very best. Sports has become a medium for political vendetta ever since Donald Trump took charge, and while the US president and America has been subjected to criticism in major events, with the US anthem being booed at tournaments across Canada, it's now Trump using sports to reignite geopolitical tensions. The US president feels that the tariff tensions between Canada, Mexico and USA will make the 2026 World Cup an interesting affair, a tournament that the three countries are set to host.
Oh, I think it's going to make it more exciting. Tension's a good thing.
Even for the World Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes it much more exciting.
That's the US president, of course, welcoming his close friend, FIFA President Gianni Infantino, to the White House over the weekend, where the Republicans signed an executive order to establish a White House World Cup task force. This is for the FIFA Club World Cup, which America is set to host later this year. The controversial event, which will be a first of its kind with an expanded 32-team tournament spanning close to a month.
Oh, that is good. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait.
Wow. That's one I have.
While the Club World Cup itself is under a stormy cloud of criticism, but while unveiling this trophy, Trump used the moment to say what he did, that the tensions between the countries are only going to be good for the 2026 World Cup that's around. Ever since Trump made it clear to impose massive tariffs on imports from America's neighbors, Canada and Mexico, America's relations have only turned sour with the two countries. And it is likely to turn worse given Trump's reluctance to back down.
I think so, but the tariffs could go up as time goes by, and they may go up, and I don't know if it's predictability. I think.
And while the Republican is adamant to stick to his decisions, neither Canada nor Mexico want to bow down to Trump's call either. Canada's incoming Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has made no bones about it.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
So yes, it's amid these simmering tensions that the three nations are expected to unite for the FIFA World Cup as co-hosts. While the American president feels all this chaos would only make the World Cup more exciting, will it really? Now, Trump, being Trump, is of the kind who thinks any publicity is good publicity. Tension is good, just means a box office hit. But when has tensions between co-hosts really been a good thing? Take the ICC Champions Trophy, for example. The tenuous ties between India and Pakistan forced the event to take on the hybrid model. This led to a certain amount of friction, even with other teams mumbling about bias. India had to play their matches in Dubai, and others had to travel back and forth between UAE and Pakistan. And this when India wasn't even co-hosting the event. At the FIFA World Cup, all three will be hosting the tournament together. And Trump's tariff threats aren't just turning the relations bitter, but also threatening to bring recession in Canada and Mexico. Last year, Mexico exported roughly $505 billion worth of goods to the US, which is roughly 30% of its GDP, while Canada exported goods worth over $400 billion, about 20% of its GDP. If the tariffs rates are increased, the earnings of both these nations would be impacted severely, which raises the question, will Canada and Mexico be able to spend on the infrastructure and everything else that really comes with organizing or even co-organizing a World Cup? While Canada and Mexico are both reliant on America, Canada, being the strong economy, might still push through. But can a struggling Mexico? Canada and America are still not the most established footballing nations. Mexico, on the other hand, will be hosting their third World Cup. It's a country that is obsessed with football. Mexican fans are known to bring their footballing heritage and fervor wherever they go. And these political developments are strongly hinting at America trying to gain that upper hand when it comes to the organization of the 2026 World Cup. Will Canada and Mexico be willing to play ball? Time for last serve. Manchester United fans protested against part club owners Glazers. This was ahead of their side's 1-1 draw against Arsenal. United, remember, is languishing at the 14th spot. Take a look at the protesters. Really tough times for Manchester United, both on and off the field. But that wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll, of course, see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Lohon, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.